Well, good morning, guys. It's it's the 10th of November, 2024, and it's 5:28 a.m. And in Pahrump, it's 46 degrees, a little warmer than it was yesterday. You might notice. And again, it's the days in Pahrump are winding down. On Thursday, I will head to Quartzsite, and you'll get Quartzsite videos for about 4 months, and you'll be excited to see Quartzsite videos, but probably sick of them by March. Anyway, so the big news from yesterday, if you've been following this, the mystery of the high-pitched noise. Yesterday or day before yesterday, I was getting messages that, hey, there's this really intense high-pitched noise on your video, and it's terrible, and I couldn't get through your video. And I got a lot of them. And I couldn't figure out what it was until it finally dawned on me. I purchased these sonic devices to repel insects. And there are 3 settings on them, and the instructions warned me that at the high setting, that the noise becomes audible, and some people find it really disturbing. So I put it up on the high setting. I didn't hear anything. So I left it on high. I had 3 of them plugged in this little tiny trailer. So here's what happened. I didn't hear it. Even when I got complaints, I went and I turned up the volume. I played everything back. I could not hear it. And many of my viewers could not hear it either. Then it dawned on me. I already knew this. This is just a fact that most people, as they age, they lose their ability to hear higher frequencies. And losing the ability to hear higher frequency, you know what age it actually starts at? Age 8. Yeah. When you're a little kid, you slowly over your lifetime lose your range of hearing. And they're programs that can actually tell you how it will estimate in a high degree of certainty how old you are by what tones you can hear. I think I did one a few years ago, and it got me spot on. So that explains why some people heard it and were like, wow, I can really hear this, and it's really disturbing, and other people didn't hear it at all. And don't get me wrong, while this program predicted my age, it doesn't work for everybody. Everybody moves at different rates, and that's just it. But I'm about to turn 65 this winter. That's how old I am, and I could not hear that. So the solution is that I've turned the level down to the lowest level. They're all on, but you shouldn't be able to hear anything unless you're 8. And you might hear something. So let's get going with Ken Gray on Lessons Learned on the Road. Is a nice little video that I did out in the little oasis koi pond and garden here in Preferred RV Resort. And Ken says, I'm only 61 this year, but I really appreciate your Medicare journey. It will really help when it's my turn to look into it. Already plan on using an agent, but your experiences really help. Well, good, Ken. Good. And my positive news video was head injury leads to marriage. It's a kind of a cute story where this woman breaks up with this guy, and he goes skiing the next day, has a head injury, and needs a ride home, and sends her a text saying, hey, honey, I need you to come pick me up. I had an accident. And it's like, why is he behaving like we're still together? It's because he forgot. It erased his memory. And she figured, well, maybe he's really taking this let's be friends thing seriously. So I'll go along with that. And she went along with it for several weeks. And he noted after the head injury, he seemed such more attentive and kinder. And she was like falling in love with him all over again. And after 2 or 3 weeks, she said, let's meet for coffee or something. And they had a conversation where she said, I think we ought to get back together. And he goes, what are you talking about? What do you mean back together? We're together. And then that's when she realized that memory of the breakup was erased. They got married. They've been married for 4 years. It's a good story. Dom the First on lessons learned. I'm so glad you talked to an expert. She means I did a bunch of research on my Medicare options, and I thought I was just going to go to my agent. I found it. I had a really good agent that sells these things, and I said, okay, I've already researched. This is what I want. I just want you to check out my choices. It turns out I made a big mistake on one of my choices, and without the agent, I would have made a big mistake. So I'm so glad you talked to an expert. I've actually been thinking you should. We have one too. She covers all the medical companies for our area. She actually changed her companies this year, and hubby and I each have a different one. Not as good as yours, but monthly expenses are much smaller. Yeah, I could have done options where the monthly expenses were smaller, but I'm trading the increased monthly expense for peace of mind, knowing that I'm never going to have a problem with having to pay a lot of money for anything medical that happens to me, including the worst things. Byzanski says, thank you for another great video. Really appreciate the insight. I'm getting ready to do the same thing. You are with my insurance. Hopefully one day soon we'll get to meet each other. Yeah, for sure. M. Campbell on the comments video. No high-pitched noise. However, I didn't hear it yesterday either. My speakers are definitely not high fidelity, though. And I said, thank you. Now hoping to hear from someone that heard it yesterday and hopefully not today. So M. Campbell has the same lack of high-frequency hearing that I do. And Ken Gray says, 7 minutes in, no high-pitched sound. I did hear it yesterday and the day before, but I thought it was just my tinnitus. It's definitely irritating when it happens. So Ken, who's just 3 or 4 years younger than me, was able to hear it. But then when I turned the thing down, he wasn't able to hear it the next day. So that comment confirmed my hypothesis. And he says A1 test kits range from $50 to $115 here in the U.S. Definitely high. I use a normal blood meter. Yeah. And I'm sure Ken knows this, but I'll just, if you use a normal blood meter, that gives you a snapshot of what your blood sugar is at the moment. The A1C gives you an average over 3 months. And when it's a really good marker to have to see how well you're managing your diabetes. Versus having to have a series of pinpricks over, maybe averaging those. And Thornelia says, no high pitch today. And Thornelia's probably heard it the day before. So Pub Camper, on lessons learned, Pub Camper is Cheryl, my friend, who I'm going to be camping with in less than a week. Rob, I'm so proud of you and happy for Sweet Dottie. Can't wait to see you both in Q. I can't wait to see you either, Cheryl. Desert Deb. Hey, Rob, she was the first one to point out the sound. She says, hey, Rob, I don't hear it now. Thank you for finding the culprit. I didn't watch the rest of your video yesterday due to the noise. It's not your fault. Well, it is my fault, but it certainly was not my intention. Dan Hardesty, I didn't hear the noise today. You nailed it. All right, Dan. So Dan heard it the other day. Billy Snider, hi, Rob. I don't hear it now. So lots of feedback on this. So the head injury leads to marriage. I had posed in the report, I said, now, he didn't realize something with his admiss because they obviously weren't doing anything physical during that month. I was a little confused by that, and M. Campbell pointed out, as for relations before marriage, the story occurred in Utah. Perhaps they're devoutly religious. Of course, that's a great explanation. Naj on the comments video. I fell several years ago and I thought I cracked the head of my femur because my hip hurt so much. But when they did an MRI, they discovered it was a herniated disc from the fall. Long story short, I had surgery on my spine and no longer have pain. Your pain can be She says deferred, but she means referred from the point of the injury. Big hug to Dottie and George. And what she's talking about is the concept of referred pain, where you know, I could have, you know, my big complaint when this whole thing with my hip started was severe pain on the in my quadricep, the front of the thigh, right? And that was referred pain from somewhere else. It wasn't a problem in my thigh, but that's where the pain was. So that's referred pain. That's a common thing in the body, where pain you experience in one part of your body, the cause of it is in another part. Referred pain. It's kind of strange, but it's true, and it's common. Naj, I'm going to miss that little park. It's so cute and peaceful there, but I can't wait to see Quartzsite. Tommy, head injury video. Well, you'd have to hit me a lot harder than to make me think I'd liked my ex again. Great for them, but it all worked out. That's funny, Tommy. Pete Diaz on lessons learned. Great advice on Medicare plans. On lessons learned, Robin Goff. Good information in this video, Rob. I was able to get a great plan through AARP, United Healthcare, that gives me so much, even help with lenses for my glasses. It also includes a prescription plan where you can, my pain strips will be half of what I pay with my current prescription plan. I was surprised to hear how fast the medicine worked for Dottie to be able to jump in your lap. I thought it would take 2 days, maybe 3, since you're only giving her 1 pill a day. Dottie says, thanks, Dad, for taking such good care of me. Safe travels to Q. A couple of things there. She's obviously talking about what they call an advantage plan, which is a lot less money than what I'm paying. And there are 2 drawbacks to it. The number for me in my situation, one is that these advantage plans are regional, right? To be in, you usually need to be in network with them. So if you're living in one place, they're great. If you're moving all over the country constantly and need to get health care wherever you are, they're usually not a good option. But they have some additional benefits like vision. Some have dental. Most of them have the, like with Robbins, they have the drug plan included. I had to buy it separately. I had to buy a supplemental plan plus a separate drug plan. And there's generally some co-pays and deductibles with advantage plans. But they're good ones. You just got to be careful. And certainly if you're a nomad, you'll probably rule out an advantage plan because of the geography. So Naj, what an awesome dog. He saved his owner's life. This is Dog Does CPR. That was two positive news stories ago. You're out of luck, Rob. I don't think Dottie weighs enough to compress your heart. You need a larger dog. Maybe you could teach her to dial 911. You didn't need a larger dog. It's that like Jaws, you're going to need a bigger boat. All right, Naj. I heard the high-pitched noise, but thought it was someone outside because I was watching the video and doing some yard work. I didn't realize it was the video until I watched it again inside my house. So, unique Led Zeppelin reaction video. Heart, Stairway to Heaven. Very cool, great concert. So the reason, this is Bill Snider. The reason why Bill watched this video is it's what they call a reaction video, where I play the Heart concert, tribute concert, Stairway to Heaven at the Kennedy Center, like I think it was 2012. But I watched this over and over again, and I friggin' cry every time. It's so emotional. So I did a reaction video, and a reaction video allows you to take copyrighted material and you put your face in the corner and you react to it and talk about it. And what I chose to do on this video was, the reason I got so emotional was because I understood some of the nuances that were going on separate from the music. In particular, going to give you a little Led Zeppelin lesson if you're not familiar. It was a 4-person band, and they were big in the 70s. And right at that peak, the drummer, John Bonham, died unexpectedly. And these guys were tight. And it devastated them. And they stopped being a band. They couldn't go on without him. Now, it's true that like 20 years later, they reunited and did a concert. And they've done a couple, I don't know how many. But one of the reasons that they did was John Bonham had a son named Jason, and Jason became a drummer. And when they reunited, that seat was filled with John Bonham's son. And a big part of this is an unspoken visual tribute to John Bonham. And if you don't know that, there's no indication. No one talks about it anywhere in the video. And what you see is the existing band members are sitting watching this performance by Hart. Nancy Wilson just kills it. She kills it. I mean, it's incredible, her talent. Nancy and Ann Wilson just, I don't want to give you any spoiler alerts, but damn. But you see shots of these guys getting really emotional. And the other thing that you to know is they don't particularly love Stairway to Heaven. And they've been known not to be fans of covers of it. But in this case, they're not only seen enjoying it, they're getting emotional. And if you don't know the backstory about John Bonham and Jason Bonham, and I'll give you, this is a little bit of a spoiler. When Jason's playing the drums, he's wearing a bowler hat because that was his father's signature. His father would wear a bowler hat. So he's playing the drums wearing a bowler hat, maybe even his dad's bowler hat. And that becomes significant during the performance. I'm not going to tell you more than that. But when I understood what happened related to that, I just, the waterworks came. So I released this video quite some time ago, and it didn't... there's so many reaction videos on this particular performance that I just didn't get very many views. Even though I've rarely seen one where they understand this backstory that makes it so much more powerful. And the only reason is because most of the people doing it are young people that have never even heard, a lot of them never even heard of Led Zeppelin. And they're doing these reaction videos. And it's like, wow, this is amazing. But they're not getting the nuances. So what I did was there's a way in the community posting to do posts where you can tag an old video and say, hey, check this out. So I did. And I got 20 more views or something on it last I looked, but it resurrected it a little bit because it's not like I'm desperate to get views on this video. What I am to, like, especially people my age that know about Led Zeppelin, know the epic song Stairway to Heaven, know about Heart, and I fill in this backstory. If you're my age and you're not really moved like this, there's something really wrong. I don't know anyone my age that just doesn't like rock music. I guess they're out there. So if you don't like rock music, you won't like it. But if you like rock music and you think, here's what the first video I saw this many years ago, there was a comment on the video, and this is what this guy said. He said, what we just witnessed was rock legends playing to rock gods. Mic drop. And when you watch this, you'll go, oh yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate. So anyway, Bill Snider says, very cool, great concert. And Bill also, so he commented on the original video, but he also commented on the post that I did on the video. He said, "Hi, Rob, I enjoy that song so much that after your video finished, I brought the concert up again and listened to it another time." That should tell you something. Thank you, Bill. Slim Pickens. "Hey, I didn't hear it. It was normal." So there, thanks, Slim. And Slim Pickens says, "On the laptop all the time, normal sound every day." So Slim, you're like me. You never heard it because you've lost that range of hearing. It's not there anymore. So Marilyn Decker says, "I couldn't hear the noise yesterday. However, I'm only in my 40s. Glad you figured it out. It was causing it." Marilyn, you're only in your 40s. Well, I got that. You're expanding my demographic then. Von Dutch. "Rob, everything sounds great. Sorry for making you feel bad. It wasn't my intention. I was just trying to make a funny out of it. I too thought it was something on my end the first day, but hearing it again and reading the comments more, I saw Deb's comment, 'Hope these little gizmos help with keeping the critters away.' Actually, they're not helping that much. I'm trying something else that's going to get delivered Monday. It's pretty frustrating. Anyway, Judy Jennings. Oh, but anyway, Vintage, don't worry about it. I had so many comments, I realized, and it a high-pitched noise is very disturbing, and it's like, this is not what I want to deliver as a content creator on YouTube. Judy Jennings said on Lessons Learned, "So very glad I found your channel. My husband and I are preparing to retire soonish and really want to get out on the road. All your great information and advice is appreciated." Well, that's great. I'm glad I could be of some help. And then we have Bill Snider, the guy that commented on the Led Zeppelin thing. He put another one on an hour ago. Says, take a listen to Simply Red, a wonderful group. They have made music since the mid-'80s. Listen to their song, Holding Back the Years. I know that song. I know it well. It's a great song. I'd try to sing it, but it sounds great in my head. But if I sing the hook there, it won't sound great. But Holding Back the Years, yeah, I know that song. So let me refresh, reload, refresh. That is it for today. And our content today is we have a video on solar arrays and farming when they combine those two things. That's pretty cool. And then let me see what the long form video is going to be. Is it that one? Is it? So I have two in the hopper and the one ready to go today. Okay, some of you might be interested in this, especially if you have a trailer or thinking of buying a trailer. You hear about repacking your wheel bearings. And I ran into a guy that is like a mobile guy that does trailer work. And I hired him to come out and repack my bearings, and he agreed to do a video where he shows exactly how to do it step by step and demonstrates it. It's really great, and he explains why it's so important to repack your bearings, check everything, and he shows you everything to check, and at the same time be checking your brakes to make sure everything's okay. And he recommends, if you're really active in your trailer, to repack your bearings every year. And I've never done it. I bought the trailer in like September 2021, and it's 2024, 3 years, and I haven't, but everything was in great shape. I don't put that many miles on it because I don't move that often, but everything looked in really great shape. But everything's in super good shape now for my trip down to Quartzsite. So it's repacking the bearings, the solar positive news video, and then this. That'll be it today. And tomorrow, I've got another trip to Walmart for you grocery fans. It's 49 minutes of me going into Walmart. I just love grocery shopping, and the only thing about grocery shopping is I hate going alone, so I take you guys with me. So if you like that, that'll be tomorrow. Take care. I'll see you then. I'm grateful for if you watch this for 25 minutes, the comments video. Amazing. I'm grateful. Thank you.